On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have never left California.
This Brownsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Well, I believe we are for real, Dolomite. Welcome to another rendition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson and one half of that duo, Cole Johnson. The other half, Snowman, will join me momentarily. And good morning to all of you out there, WQEE out in Atlanta, our Chicago brethren as well. Good morning to the CSTV family out in the West Coast. And good morning to, of course, in the Metroplex, BS3. And in the audience as well is the owner, the manipulator, and the operator of the BS3 network, Ben Southworth. But enough of that. Let's get to the whip around. Congratulations to the the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's get the team's name correct. They captured their first Stanley Cup of their franchise with a rout 9-3 of the game, although you wouldn't think it in Game 5 or even in Game 2, Florida Panthers. Now, how can I put this? Now, Vegas, of course, they knocked on the door back in 2018, but it was the Capitals' year. And I remember that fondly because of Alex Ovechkin swimming in the DuPont Circle's fountain, and just living it up with the fam in DC. But Vegas gets to do this now on the Sunset Strip because they get to celebrate their victory 4-1 over the Eastern Conference champion Florida Panthers. Well, no matter what physicality the Panthers threw at the Golden Knights, their speed was just too much. It was just too much. That's the best way I could put it. The captain of the team, Mark Stone, scored a hat trick in the game, the first in the Stanley Cup final since the Avalanche's Peter Forsberg did it 27 years prior. He had this to say about the amazing achievement. Quote, "Unbelievable. The look in my teammates' eyes when I got the Stanley Cup is one of the craziest feelings I've ever had. I can't even describe the feelings in my stomach right now. It's everything you can imagine." Close quote. And I'm sure it is everything that he has imagined, being on rinks all over the place. And now he gets to hoist Lord Stanley's Cup. And he'll get the chance to tour with it during the summer, too. So, exciting times for them. As for the Panthers, let us not brush them aside. I mean, hey, they got to the finals relatively easy, I should say, over the Hurricane. Before then, they just simply routed the Maple Leafs. And then before then, the greatest team NHL ever assembled held a 3-1 series lead and a 3-2 game lead. And let me do this correctly. They did it in Game 7 of the first round, and they took it overtime and beat the Boston Bruins. So even though the Panthers did not get it done this was a really good way to end a season that pretty much nobody figured they would come this far. So congratulations also to the Panthers, but definitely congratulations to the new 2023 Lord Stanley's Cup champions, the Vegas Golden Knights. And they did it in grand style. Turning our attention to the hardwood and really sort of off the court, I guess you could say. This is a heartbreaking story. The wife of former Suns, now new Pistons head coach, Monty Williams, suffered, had have a cancer diagnosis. And it was just tragic. It's tragic to hear that. And just imagining hearing this stuff, it would probably be debilitating for anybody. Well, the news came to the Monty Williams family during the conference semifinals matchup between the Suns and the Nuggets. And he just felt as though he just got gut punched, and I can understand it. It's a gut punching feeling. Believe me, I know this, not necessarily from the wife's standpoint, but from the mother and the grandmother standpoint, because both of them had to take that breast cancer diagnosis walk. And as he was introduced as the new head coach of the Pistons yesterday, he discussed his wife's health in an attempt to help others. And I understand that feeling as well. He said, quote, "The reason that I bring it up is not to talk about my family, but to make it more of an emphasis that women need early detection testing. We had genetic testing done, and then scan after scan after scan, and then we found it early, and that may have saved my wife's life. It can save others." Close quote. And being as though that I have sat in the seat of seeing my mother and grandmother go through that, both of them individually said early detection was the key to battling and defeating breast cancer. And both to this day, and they had it 30 years ago, both of them did. To this day, they live cancer-free, and I'm happy to say that they have lived a better life even after cancer than before it. So if I have any words to part along to you, Monty, just keep your chin up. Your wife is going to fight this through, and she's going to beat it. There isn't a doubt in my mind about that. From the hardwood to the gridiron, the Chiefs' Chris Jones, after seeing Frank Clark sign with a rival Broncos, he skips mandatory minicamp amid contract push. Now, the 28-year-old, he'll turn 29 next month. He's entering the final year of a 4-year, $80 million contract with a base salary of $19.5 million for this year. Now, he is seeking a deal that would put him at least second among defensive tackles in pay. I don't think you'll have to guess who the number one guy is. Aaron Donald. So the Titans, Jeffrey Simmons, he stands in second now after he pinned his John Hancock on a 4-year, $94 million extension, which was signed 2 months prior. Now, the general manager of the Chiefs, Brett Veach, he had this to say about the contract negotiations as it stands at the moment. Quote, "We'll spend time, and obviously we have a great relationship with Chris and his staff, so we'll get to work and see what we can do." Close quote. Well, you better get to work real fast, in a hurry. You already lost one key member of your defense. I don't think you can avoid upsetting this member, who I believe is the best player on your defense. You got to take care of him because he has taken care of you all, giving you 2 rings in the last 4 years. So you probably have to bring that Brinks truck around. And I get it. You got to work around that Mahomes deal. I understand that. But you have other talented teammates of his that you got to sign. Unfortunately, you have to pay the man. Staying on the gridiron, Odell Beckham Jr., he makes his long-awaited return to action. And he gets it being a member of the Ravens. Now, the applause was heard. The applause that he heard, it hardly resembled the last time Odell Beckham Jr. set foot on a football field, obviously, because it was in February of last year when he was catching a ball in midfield when the turf at SoFi Stadium decided to give his knee a tweak. Now, for Beckham, though, the team's prize offseason acquisition for the quarterback that they have now in Lamar Jackson, the Ravens' first mandatory minicamp practice was the first time that he got a chance to be on a football field since that fateful time at Super Bowl 56 back in February 2022. And he left that game, of course, a champion. That's the good news. The bad news is he left that game with a torn ACL that cost him the second half of that whole contest and the whole 2022 season. Now, mind you, he was coming off of an ACL tear just to get to that point beforehand. But he's having a chin, upper lip type of approach. And before he put on another helmet, this time black with a blue visor and black shorts and a number 3 jersey, he downplayed how much this meant to him. Quote, I've been trying not to think about it so much because there's been so many disappointments. I've been in a good mental space to where I've tried to downplay this. But I definitely think I'll be excited to put on a jersey and go out and do the things that you've done your whole life that you love to do. Close quote. Well, it's good to see you back. I hope everything goes well, and I do not want to see you slip up and relapse a second time in the last 3 years. I think if anybody deserves to have good things happen to you because of the bad luck you have had in recent memory, it is you, sir. So I hope everything goes well for you, man. To the links. And PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan, very popular man these days, he is recuperating now from a medical situation. The 53-year-old will be relieved of his day-to-day duties on the PGA Tour while recovering from a medical issue which has not been disclosed. Now, the Chief Operating Officer Ron Price and the Executive Vice President Tyler Dennis, they will take over Monahan's role during his absence. Now, he has served, Monahan, as PGA Commissioner since 2017. And, of course, he has been big news as of late because this issue comes 1 week removed from his announcement of the creation of a for-profit entity that combines the PGA Tour, the DP World Tour, and LIV Golf. Now, because of this, Monahan is the CEO of the new company, and Yasir Al-Rumayyan is the governor of Saudi Arabia's Public Interest Investment Fund. Both of them will be the chairman of this new conglomerate. Well, I hope you heal up, sir. I think your time in being out of the spotlight is far from over. But not far from over is this program, as this ends today's Whip Around. To the Fanatic Feedback Zone we go before we do head on to our first commercial break. Good morning to No Credentials Required Zone, Ryan McCarthy. He says, good morning, Snow Crew. Is Brother Guest in the house? Well, he might be. Oh, and before I continue onward.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Time out. All right, reset.
We will put this man on pause and we'll continue onward. The BS3 Network, as I mentioned earlier, he says, good morning. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning to Vicaloch or Victor Locke. F Holiday, what's up, brother? I hope everything's good with you, man. Glad to join. Glad you're amongst family. Come on board. I hope you enjoy it. He says, Victor Locke says, good morning, and good morning to the General and the National Cowboys fan army. And he says good morning back to Victor. Victor says also good morning to F. Holiday and the International Irish Italiano Super Villain Espresso McCoffee. And I'm doing fine, Victor. Thank you for asking. Ryan says second largest margin of victory in a Stanley Cup clinching game. I think you're right, Ryan. I think you're right. I will touch on Hot TV. How you doing, sir? I hope everything's good with you, man. I will touch on the Shannon Sharp thing on Cole Sports later on today, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. I don't think we'll touch too much on it other than, well, Wise pretty much said all the things I need to really say about it for now. Ryan says the Panthers season is nothing to turn your nose about. Surely it's not. Talking about the Florida Panthers, not the Carolina Panthers, because Carolina Panthers, you might as well just simply put that in the dumpster. He says those guys fought hard to get to the final. Unfortunately, they were outclassed and, too, by a better team. They were. And it just happens. Hot TV says, look, he was a breath of fresh air in sports television. Yes, Sharp was. And I don't think this is the last time you see him on television either. Butterfly, what's up? I hope everything's good with you. Good morning to you. The Hot TV says, I know a lot of people are in agreement that Skip Bayless is the reason for Skip's departure. However, I ask people to look at the lawsuit that Brett Favre has against Shannon. That I think he pulled it back, but I might be wrong. The 1 minute wrestler with Jackie Jackhammer. How you doing? I hope everything's good with you. He says, hi, Hardcore Sports Network. And Butterfly as well. Victor also says, Shannon was fun for a bit, but you have to take him in small doses. I totally agree. And I will introduce him that way when the technical difficulties do not. But we will greet the rest of you and all of the Fanatic Feedback Zone. We will give the proper introduction to one Mrs. Brian Snow. But we will take our first commercial break right now. And when we come back, we will talk further about the Big Ten and the SEC raking in all the dough. That doesn't sound right, but it sounds normal. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Will be right back. And I'll introduce the man who's on the screen properly on the other side.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Hey everybody, Brian Snow here. Want to do some afternoon sports talk with me and be interactive? Also meet some great guests from every walk of life? Then tune in to The Brian Snow Show on CSTV and CSTVNow.com. Weekdays at 2 p.m. Come on aboard and enjoy the ride.
PK Tire Pro is your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. On Location Technical Difficulties himself, Brian Snow, a.k.a. the Snowman, the founder of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson and the CEO of Snowman Multimedia. How you doing this morning? Besides muted.
Done it? All right, how's that?
Perfect. I can hear you. I think you can hear us. So how's everything with you? And you can muting yourself. Okay.
I'm trying not to. Will you quit muting me? Yes, I was. I
Mute.
was muted. I'm feeling great. Scans came back clean, getting stronger. Last weight wise, I got as low as 208, which frightened everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm up to 245.
Okay. Well, good. Well, good. Which
So everything's good. Just got to get my iron level up and my B12 level up,
mm,
and I've eliminated fried food from my
mm-hmm.
diet once and for all.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, changed the meat selections from chicken to red meat to chicken and turkey. I'll have a steak every once in a while, but I'm feeling great. I hope y'all are feeling great in the chat. F Holiday, I owe you big for the present you sent me, and I appreciate it. Help out our humble host, will you? The cash app you need is $host Cole Johnson for my partner, and $tall man Dr. K50 for yours truly. So help us out, help us really make this thing go. And for those of you watching on YouTube, there has been a change in their policy that's going to help out matters also.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and actually, this program itself, because and the YouTube channel that supports it, actually might feel that change very soon, and that's a good positive change.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it because we've
yeah.
been putting in the work. Unlike all
Mm-hmm.
these Johnny come lately that we talk about, we put in the work and we're about to
Yes.
get rewarded, and the rewards are about to start coming in for it. And I can't wait.
Well, I can't wait either. All right.
You
Well,
especially, you
yes.
especially, man. I'm cheering you on, especially because of everything that you've been through, the work that you put in, and people just need to. Hey, if y'all haven't done so, go subscribe to Cole Sports on YouTube. I'm making a promo here and now and putting it out there for my partner. Let's
Yeah.
get him monetized, man. Let's go. Let's get everybody that's involved with the show that has a
Just me.
YouTube
Yeah.
channel. No credentials required. David 3000. David 3000's already hit the.
Yeah. He's
Uh,
gone over 1,000. Yeah.
he's hit the 1,000 mark. So congrats to him. And I but I love it. I love it. I love the rules that they changed. And I want let's get play by play with JJ monetized also. He's nearly there. If you haven't heard, the target is 500 now, instead 500 subscribers instead of 1,000. And
Mm-hmm.
JJ is just about there. Ryan McCoffey and no credentials required. I know you're on the cusp of it too. Every creator that you see that's involved with this show is on the cusp of getting monetized. So let's get everybody monetized, myself included, Cole Sports included. Let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'd be great. Man. Yeah. That was some good news to see and to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. And that came early in the morning yesterday. All right.
How's it
So
feel to know that soon you'll be able to do this full time and get paid for it? How good does that feel?
yeah, it feels good that I'll be on the road to doing it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll feel really good.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely will. Now, to college football.
Oh no.
Now, here's a shot. Here's a shot that I'm about to say to everybody.
Oh boy.
SEC and the Big Ten. Now, you would think you would think that they would be crying poor, right? No, of course not, because they
No.
each pulled in $2 billion in athletic department revenue, and it wasn't even close with the other. I don't know how many other leagues, but the Power Five with the other three wasn't even close.
No. I don't think the Power Five. I don't think the other three didn't even reach $1 billion. I do not think they reached $1 billion.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it. but to put it in context, they said last year when money from student fees and forms of institutional government was supported and not counted, there was a $62 million difference between the median revenue generated by an SEC school and that generated by a Pac-12 school.
Are you surprised?
Why? No.
Pac-12 plays late at night. Their audience is basically West Coast.
Yeah, and I was about to say that's the problem.
That's a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, let's welcome the folks on CSTV from Nevada and all points west, including Oregon, Washington, and Northern California. Thank you all for tuning us in, and thank you to Tom O'Boyle, who suggested the time change. Back to business. Why are we surprised that the Big Ten and the SEC raked in the most money? We're not.
No. To give you some context about that, so only 9 public schools last year outside the Power 5 conference had more than $62 million in total operating expenses for their entire athletics program.
Mm-hmm. And half of that goes to coaches. We all know that.
Mm-hmm. So that should give you an understanding as to how big of a power broker both the Big Ten and the SEC is. And we have joked about it. We have said that basically the playoffs is SEC Big Ten Invitational.
Man, we've made that joke since we've been together on the air, year and a half now. And you and I have separately made that joke on our shows for as long as we've been active.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, because I feel for it. You really won't feel it as much in the other sports, and I say as much. You'll feel it. I don't think you feel as much in other sports as you would football.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to just change college athletics through football so much
and so quickly.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the sad part. So SEC last year, they took in a combined $2.17 billion in total operating revenue. The Big Ten took in $2.04 billion.
$4.21 billion between two damn conferences.
And those are the public schools. I'm not even talking about the private schools that are tied to the Big Ten and the SEC.
Right. Not even and some of that. I'll say it again. And the Big Ten and the SEC can easily spread their wealth among the other power conferences, not to mention a few other schools, but they're too damn greedy. And they don't want to play fair. I'll give you an example. The Pac-12, I believe, is the lowest of the Power 5 in bringing in revenue. And there are so many reasons for that. Go subscribe to Play by Play with JJ. He does an awesome job calling Phillies games, and he and I are going to collaborate on a baseball game very, very soon. But back to business here.
Yeah.
When it was the Pac-10, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, and I'll say this until I'm dead. When it was the Pac-10, it was competitive. All right? When you had only 10 schools in the Pac-10, which began as the Pac-8, they were competitive. It was a competitive conference. The Pac-10 could keep up with the Big Ten and the SEC. Now that you have 12 schools and more money to spread around to those 12 schools, and remember, the Pac-12 really doesn't have a television or radio agreement except amongst the schools themselves.
And that's the biggest problem.
Yep. TV and radio revenue. Let me put the Big Ten or an SEC radio network together, or a Pac-12 radio network. Let us do that.
Now, to your earlier point, the Pac-12 took in the second lowest total in revenue. However, with two things in play, the mass exodus that is USC and UCLA going to the Big Ten.
Dear God.
And Colorado possibly wanting to dip out and
And
go
go
to
back to the Big
Big 12.
And that's all That's all Dion.
The Pac-12, it's all definitely all Dion. The Pac-12 is unfortunately on life support.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate saying it. They're on life support. Of all the Power 5, they're on life support.
They're losing their two biggest schools. They're losing their two biggest attractors of attention, USC and UCLA. It doesn't matter. Jay, you and I were talking about this in a text chat. It doesn't matter if USC or UCLA is in the third spot in their division or the fourth spot in their division or dead last in their division. They're going to get the coverage.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to get the coverage. And now the Pac-12 is losing that. Colorado's about to dip out. And the next school I believe that's going to dip out is Utah. Because remember, Utah and Colorado came in together.
Yeah, I was about to say they should. Because of the recent coverage they've been getting too. And I think now the perception is starting to get more and more pronounced with them. And I think they want to have more eyes on the program.
Utah needs to stand alone in the Mountain West. And I'm speaking not only in terms of their visibility, because except lately, they haven't been getting much from the Pac-12 at Utah. Yeah. And the same goes for Colorado. And part of that is Colorado is just plain sucked since they joined the Pac-12.
Yeah.
That's one. I think that's one reason why Dion wants to get the hell out and go back to the Big 12, which should be the Big 8, but that's my personal opinion.
Oh, look, I would love for it to be the Big 8. I would love for Nebraska to get out of the Big 10. I would love for the Southwestern Conference to come back, but this is not get off my lawn old man take Central. But yes, it'll be great.
Frank Gleber, the voice of the Southwest Conference, for years. Whenever they do the weekly wrap up, Southwest Conference weekly wrap up, and I know it was only available in the Southwest, but doggone it, I've seen some recent episodes on YouTube and I missed that. But
the late Frank Gleber,
the late great Frank Gleber, and Frank Fallon, who voiced the Final Four for years. Because Frank Fallon's last year was 1998, and unfortunately 6 years after that, Fallon passed away. But Frank Fallon and Frank Gleber in the Southwest Conference. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, Just Fans Podcast is up.
What is that?
Much love from Houston. Hey, much love to Houston. Much love to you, Just Fans Podcast.
Much love from Houstonian, brother. How you doing?
My homie here is a Houstonian, a native Houstonian.
Yeah,
and let's see, the Astrodome, the Summit, right? The rainbow Astro uniforms, which the Astros are bringing back. Minute Maid Park, the home of the world champion Houston Astros, and it gives me much pride in saying that.
Yes, the defending world champs, and they needed that.
The defending champion Houston Astros. Yeah, subscribe to Real Wise TV. Also, we're putting all our channels in the chat. So everyone that's listening, go subscribe and help us get monetized, and we'll help you in return. But man, just imagine, and I will say this aloud, I don't know if it's active, I don't know if they have one or not, but just imagine if the Big Ten actually had a radio network as well as a television network.
Well, they might get there.
They could do what the Oakland A's do and just have all their stuff online. And the first professional team, here's how we know that we're in the 21st century. The first professional team of the Big Four to just go online and stream all their stuff online, TV and radio, was the Los Angeles Kings.
Yeah, they were ahead of the curve in a lot of things.
Yeah, they were. The Los Angeles Kings were the first team to stream everything online, which told me that I made the right move. When we started streaming everything online back in 2001. Yeah, 2001 is when we started. We actually were still doing tape delays in 2001, but the first live event that we did was at Chicago State in 2005.
Hmm.
So it took 10 years to get live and get the technology, but we were taping and streaming stuff online back in 1996.
Oh, nice.
And no one thought we would last this long. Hell, no one thought I would last this long. You know, I got people, and JJ, I got something for you. You and I want to talk with everybody let me just go ahead and throw this out there.
Before you do,
Yes.
actually keep that file in your memory banks.
Mm-hmm.
When we come back, you will say what you're about to say to the people in the Fanatic Feedback Zone, in particular, probably with JJ as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is Snowman and Wonderful Cole Johnson. We'll be back right after this.
We're not a cooking show. We're a show about cooking. We turn the camera around and point it at you. Our show takes place right inside your kitchen.
Hey y'all, Snowman here. Catch me, Cole Johnson, Wise El Jefe, and the usual cast of characters as we bring it to you every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. It's called Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, and it's right here on CSTV and CSTVNow.com. Join us, won't you?
I'm in another lane, I'm a different breed. I'm everything you can never be. I'm next level. Next level.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
The following is a public service announcement from David 3000.
Yankees suck.
This has been a public service announcement from David 3000. Back at it on here. Snowman with Cole Johnson.
The rivalry lives.
The rivalry lives, and they will be playing a 3-game set this weekend in Boston. Yeah.
You had to do that one, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
The brilliant that is Cole Johnson, my partner. You're truly the Snowman, with you on location in Edinburgh, Indiana. And thank you to the good folks at Starbucks here that allow me to come in and they power me up. Green tea twice over. So this is they powered me up today. BetUs.com and Invader Coffee, our other sponsors, working on more affiliate sponsors to help us out here. We're approaching the top of the hour. We're putting a new format in place, so follow along with us. Are we summoning Bizarro Wise? No, but we're summoning Bizarro Cool McCain because his Nuggets are the NBA World Champions. Congratulations to Nikola Jokic, and Jamal Murray, Mike Malone, and
Wonderful
everybody.
Wonderful
with
team.
the Mile High City. Well deserved. Y'all earned it. Y'all kicked ass
Yeah,
to
all
get to the
throughout the
top.
playoffs. All throughout the playoffs.
And I think this is the last of the ABA teams to win it all.
Yeah,
I believe that to be true.
Wait. No, I don't think the Pacers has won yet. Have they?
No, that's right. The Pacers haven't won one, and they're going to be a while.
They were the last one to get to one.
They were the last one to get to the finals.
Yeah.
Were they? Yeah, they were the last
Nuggets
one.
were the last one to get to one.
Nuggets were the last one to get to the finals. The Spurs already got theirs.
Yeah.
The Nuggets finally got theirs,
Mm-hmm.
and that pleases me. That makes me happy seeing the Denver Nuggets underdogs for many, many years. And I told Cool McCain this. Now they just need. I told him this yesterday on the air. Now they just need to bring back the rainbow uniforms. They need to bring back the old school logo and the old school uniforms. But that's a get off my lawn type of take. But the hell with it. And yes, JJ, the green tea. And congratulations to the Vegas Golden Knights,
which we did that at the top of the program.
And I will do mine now. Stanley Cup champions, and I believe this also start of a dynasty, because Vegas wasn't supposed to get there in their first year in 2018.
Right.
They got beat up by the Washington Capitals.
Yeah.
And so many times over,
veteran leadership did them in.
Yep.
Yeah.
So many times over, Vegas was close, but they didn't get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and I think all that turnaround started with them losing a 3-1 lead against San Jose the next year.
Yeah.
And then all hell broke loose, and that was that. And they finally got to the mountaintop. So congrats to the Florida Panthers too on a hell of a season.
Yes.
On a hell of a season. That's the start of a team that's on the come up. And everybody in the Eastern Conference need what? Miami 0-2 and then hey, truth hurts.
Truth. Yes, that's the truth. Yes, it hurts. But you know our brother Cool.
I know he likes to troll like I do. So I wanted to mention something. You know what? Drop the link and let's let JJ come up here. Let's let JJ. We got a couple minutes before the top of the hour. Let's bring JJ in and have a little fun with him, because I want to introduce y'all to a play-by-play announcer who is a fan of the Phillies and the New England Patriots and all that. And I want to introduce him to y'all. And this is become one of my dearest friends. And whenever he's on, even if it's only for a couple of innings, I want to support him, and I want you guys to support him also. So if and when he comes up, we'll bring him up and we'll introduce him. But anybody that wants to stream a live play-by-play and reaction, let me know. And I have the platform. We have the platform for you. Okay? Because this is a conglomerate. This is a team effort. And I know JJ would be interested. I know a couple of other people that would like to do it. I'm going to start doing it. Even if I don't do a high school game this year, I have a weekly play-by-play schedule in mind covering two teams. Of course, you know the two teams, Cole, the Colts and the 49ers. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of time and a matter of scheduling. But yeah, I want to introduce that. Right, you said 12 months to 10 million views to get ad revenue with YouTube. Hey, fine. I got affiliate sponsors that'll help with that.
Yeah, I think that's.
I got affiliate sponsors.
And that's the thing. You can get that started, and you can. And I think if you were able to, even with 500 subscribers, say, "Yeah, I am." My channel draws people, and now I'm in the monetization plan.
Mm-hmm.
That would get more people on board. It's like, oh, there's some eyes, and yeah,
and that's a big thing. I think that's one of the reasons why they made the change.
Mm-hmm.
For the small creators to really get some eyes on them and get some more subs.
Yeah,
watch this.
It's a win-win-win, really.
It is. It really is.
It's a win for the viewer, it's a win for the creator, and it's a win for YouTube in general. Yeah,
they get more eyes on them, and they get more eyes on them. Speaking of which, I'm going to do you a favor really quick, Cole, and I'm going to use a couple of my channels and subscribe to yours to get you some more eyes. Because my man deserves. Hey, my man Cole deserves it. Okay, my man Cole deserves the support, you guys. His company, Comey Media Inc. I suggest you go support it, and I'll throw you a bone. I'll make you a website.
Thank you. Wow. Didn't even ask for
I
that.
support my friends. I support my homies. And I'll throw you a website on the house. Courtesy of Snowman Multimedia.
Just
only
do me one favor.
Yes, sir.
Don't let Voodoo work on it.
Huh? No, I didn't hear what you said.
Don't let Voodoo work on it. I said,
man, fuck that.
I said, don't let Voodoo.
Man, F that. I'm sorry. I dropped an F-bomb and I didn't realize it. I'm sorry, Thomas. Oops. That's awful. I am sorry. This describes the morning I've had so far. Running around crazy, and I slipped. I am so sorry. I slipped. I will make sure I edit that. Listen, you.
All right. Well.
But I'm serious about throwing you a website for Comey Media.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
The only thing I ask is a monthly maintenance fee. I'll create it. I'll put it together. I just need your logo in a PNG or a JPG format, or both, and I'll do the rest. I'll have it together. Okay. I'll have it together before the start of football season.
Wow, that's pretty quick. Okay.
This is me.
You asked for this guy.
Is he here?
Now he is here. Yes, he is here. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who is in charge of play with JJ, Mr. Jason Joseph. He joins us on Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Good morning, sir.
What's up? What's good?
Why are you giggling so much, man? I love listening to you.
I'm giggling because I forgot, through StreamYard. I haven't used StreamYard in forever, but I forgot that I had to choose a virtual background.
Yes.
And I noticed that with this virtual background, everything is sideways.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Been there.
I'll be back, gentlemen.
Been there. Folks, this is Jason Joseph. He's in charge of play-by-play with JJ, and I love him dearly. I hope y'all subscribe to him and get him monetized. And plus, he's friends with one of my favorite baseball announcers, of course, the great Scott Fransky, the longtime voice of the Philadelphia Phillies. He became the voice of the Phillies in 2009 after the unfortunate passing of Harry Callis. But, man, tell the folks, JJ, how you got started in doing play-by-play.
Oh, boy. Well, you guys gave me an awesome introduction. I don't know if I could ever top that. I really appreciate everything. So I got started because when I was really young, I actually come from a theater background.
Right.
So I used to do theater when I was really young. I got exposed to public speaking. I was actually a very shy person, and theater really helped me grow in so many ways. But I knew that I didn't want to go into acting.
Right.
But I got interested in doing film. So I actually went to a film camp, and the guy that's in charge of it, it's funny because he's actually now the camera operator, one of the camera operators for the Phillies.
Nice.
So that was really cool. But no, my passion really started when I was really young. I was really fortunate that I got to go to a couple of World Series games with my dad.
Yeah.
That was really awesome. My grandma, God bless her soul, she's up in heaven. I know that she really, really got into the Phillies and would love to have conversations with me about them when I first got into them. And so that only kind of grew my love more. And I had an older brother who had really severe special needs who also passed away in 2020, but he loved baseball. And so it was just like all in my family where like I just like loved baseball. But then like my expansion for baseball passion, grew when I was in middle school. I started to get exposed to more sports, but it all started with baseball. And so, the dream was to be a sports broadcaster and to just do play-by-play. I would say when I was a junior in high school, and I never knew why. I loved editing. I loved, all these other aspects about film.
Yeah.
And finally, Scott Graham, who was my teacher for sports broadcasting too, about 2 years ago, I learned that the reason why I loved all these aspects of film and I loved broadcasting because it all falls under one umbrella, and that's storytelling.
Yep.
And I never knew that until he said something. And he said that to us like the first day we had class. And I never forgot that.
What was your first game? What was your first game that you strapped on the headset for?
My first game that I did at Rowan was a softball game. And it was funny because the only thing I remember about that game was that we had this guy that was on, and I was doing a doubleheader, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta leave a little bit early." And I'm like, "Wait, you're gonna like leave me with like all this equipment that's like right here? Like I don't know how to set everything up. Like, I don't know how to strike everything. Like okay, like all right, like I don't have a car on campus. I'll just walk it back. Sure."
Let's say hi to After the Huddle, friend of the show. Oh man, After the Huddle, what's up? Do us a favor, ATH. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels that are in the chat so we can get everybody monetized. My buddy Jason Joseph up here as we kick off hour 2 of Snowman in the morning. When is your next game? Your next game is today. Isn't it? It's tonight. Okay.
Yep. Tonight.
What about it? What about after that? I want to team up with you for a baseball call after I come back from vacation.
We have to.
Or after the let's go after the vacation, after the holiday. I want to put on this headset and team up with you. And you said something during one of your broadcasts which made me really think, because as much as I love being on location doing a game, the future was thrust upon us during COVID, when everyone started doing games remotely. And then you, with your active calls of the Philadelphia Phillies, got me thinking, hey, I'm going to be 51 next month, but you got the wheels turning. And I'm thinking, okay, how can I keep up? And how can I also stay ahead of the game? Right. And then I did my first one, which was a White Sox game that you were a part of.
Of course.
Took off the headset and I'm like, Jason's right. The future's here. The future's here. So
you know what? Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
You know what's really crazy? So I was having this conversation with a friend yesterday who graduated with me, and he works for WIP.
Mm-hmm.
So I've noticed that a lot of people that have graduated with me, like they've been working in sports media, like getting themselves out there, like working themselves up the ladder and that type of a thing. And I loved NFL films, but now like I've really been focusing on this full time, and I've noticed like I've had questions about like going down this path because I'm getting more exposure, because because I'm on the air more, and because I'm not like just producing, and because I'm not like just like getting that experience, even though like that's a great experience too, and like you have to do that, and you got to start off small. I do feel like I am getting more experience because a lot of people have said to me that they've had to move and they've had to relocate and go to smaller markets just to get this experience.
Oh yeah. I've had that said to me for years. I've had that said to me for many years. Go on.
Right, exactly. And so I'm starting to think that this, just by doing this and by coming online and just by doing this from our homes, I think that this is what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Except that they were just doing it like out in Montana or
Mm-hmm.
like out in Nebraska, like in the middle of nowhere. So I kind of like think it's interesting how other people are going on a different path, but I kind of chose, I guess, my own path, if that makes sense.
It makes total sense because I went on that same path. And I've been told for years, you can't make it in a big city. You're going to have to start in a small town.
Right.
And I refused to believe it. And I started my company in 1996 in Chicago. And as I mentioned earlier, we were doing a lot of tape delays up until 2005, but we were doing the games. We were hanging out. We were doing it. And I got to tell this tale. My first game was December 7th, 1995 at Chicago State University. We had to get permission to film and to broadcast, and it was camera plus a tape, and my friend Kevin checked out a camera, and I said, "Can you attach a microphone to that?" And he said, "Yeah. What do you have in mind?" And an evil, wicked smile came across my face, and I said, I want to try something." And those of you who know, my favorite play-by-play announcer of all time is the late great Jim Durham, who voiced Bulls games for years and was one of the first voices of ESPN radio. So he attached the microphone. I was already dressed. I had a shirt and tie on because I had another engagement on campus. And lo and behold, that was my first play-by-play call. Northern Illinois at Chicago State. The strangest thing came at the end of the game when Northern Illinois won the game big. And at the end of the game, during our post-game wrap-up, which took all of 180 seconds, I said, TJ Lux finished with 26 points and 14 rebounds. And my friend Kevin looked at me and said, "Where'd you get those numbers from?" I don't know. I pulled them out of my head because I only had a roster with me. I only had a roster. We go downstairs and I meet Bill Baker, the longtime voice of Northern Illinois and another dear friend of mine. The first broadcaster I ever met was Bill Baker, voice of NIU. And we wanted a score sheet. And Kevin said, "Let me see how far off you are on those numbers." He looked at the score sheet and looked at me with shock. And I said, "What?" And he said, "Read that stat line." I look at TJ Lux, 26 points, 14 rebounds. And I'm like, "What?" I actually got that right. I was just making it up. I was trying to keep track of it in my head because I didn't have a stat book.
Right.
And that night created a monster because I haven't been able to stop for 27 years. It'll be year 28 in August. I plan to stream a lot of NFL calls. I plan to be busy. And my wife, my dear wife, Jody, said, "You know something?" And it finally hit home when she pulled me aside because, after cancer surgery, I was so afraid on what I would do to bring money into the household and do what I was supposed to do. Man, Jody yanked me aside and said, "Look, you got a brand out there. Use it. Get some sponsors, get some donations. You bring in money that way into the household, doing what you love to do." And I looked at her one night and I said, "You're actually serious about this?" She stood up and gave me a big hug and said, "Is it finally clicking now?" Yes, it is. Because as a man, you get scared. As a married man, you get scared after everything I've been through with the blood clots and the cancer surgery. You get scared. All right? It frightens the daylights out of you of not being able to produce for your family. And I am a family man. I'm a happily married man. And that was the first thing on my mind. And then Jody kind of calmed me down. So now I'm all in with doing this. JJ and I are hanging out. Hour 2, if I can find the right button here as I'm on location. Jason and I are hanging out. We're going to continue to hang out because hour 2 starts right now.
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular. Ryan McCoffey now joins us this morning.
That's what you need to do to beat Josh Allen. You need to make him uncomfortable.
Hour 2, time for some Spivey notes. And here's Jag.
Well, I know he's only in his third year, but they're just wasting Justin Herbert.
Hour 2,
the hardest working content creator I know, the playmaker.
Hey, LeBron James, the greatest scorer of all time. Hey.
Hour 2,
the one, the only Christopher Dietz.
They rewarded Ohio State for not playing, and they punished USC for playing.
Hour 2, Sam Shady.
Oh, man. It's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan.
Hour 2, that's Big Ben, the man in charge of the BS3 network.
And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz Cousins out.
Hour 2, Chris Bay's joining us.
Oh my God! Oh, this game! Oh, way to go, Sammy!
Hour 2 was
Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular, and it starts right now.
All types of blue hell. That's how we start hour 2. Jason Joseph joining me here on the program. And thank you to those of you at CSTV for picking us up, as well as BS3 Network and WLEO in Baltimore, Maryland, WIRU in Chicago, and WQEE 99.1 in Metro Atlanta. Jason Joseph joining us this morning, sharing broadcasting stories as we kick off the second hour. I got to tell you something, man. I discovered your channel by accident, and I've been hooked ever since, because you're doing something that I love to do. And like I said, you turned the wheels in my head saying, hey, I can stay home doing this and make money doing it. It is very much possible to do it. And then you said on a broadcast of yours, quite simply, you said, hey, Snowman's here. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel because we're going to collaborate one day. And the wheels really started turning after that. So after the holiday, we're going to pick a game, and you and I are going to call it start to finish.
Sounds like a plan. You know what's really funny? I've also noticed that the one thing that was really cool about doing it over here was that I was like, I was in a, like when I was interning at NFL Films, like I loved the internship.
Right.
It was so much fun.
Yep.
But I miss these. I miss these. I like as simple as it sounds. Like without calling a game for 3 months, it felt like 3 years.
Doesn't it?
Seriously. And so,
man, I get it, because the last game I did before we moved up here to Indiana, the last game I did was at Lewisburg College in May of 2021.
Wow.
And I didn't do another game until I get a call from North Carolina Greensboro in February of 22. And it may seem like a short time, but when you're a play-by-play announcer and you're on the grind, especially if you call 100 games a year, 3 months seems like 3 years.
It does.
And I got the call from UNCG, and Colby said, would you be able to do a baseball game for us? I know this is short notice. And I'm thinking, man, if I was only there to do it. And then a bell rang in my head. And I said, can we do this remotely? He said, yes. You're on. And I was back in Division I for baseball. And I can't tell you, I'm going to pick a team next year because, thank you, ESPN Plus, I can follow a lot of D1 baseball. And I'm going to be busy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be busy doing this. I have my wife, Jody, to thank for the pursuit. I have you to thank, my friend, for sticking with it. You know, I can't tell you enough how much your nerve has really inspired me. Even on days when you don't do the game. I think there was one that we did together on our separate channels. It was the Braves and Phillies in Atlanta. And I wanted to do it because it was Sunday Night Baseball, but I didn't want to step on your toes either because to me, you're the
wanted
voice
to
of the
collab
Phillies.
with you. I wanted to collab with you so badly. That was just such a crazy day because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
it was.
coming home. I was coming home from Maryland. I was doing a freelancing gig. And I was basically like a runner for like all these AI cameras at the Maryland soccer complex.
Yes.
There's like
Oh
25
boy.
fields.
Oh
My
boy.
gosh, it was such a long weekend. And I was thinking, I might actually just get back in time just for the game. And as soon as I walked in, I kid you not, I went straight upstairs. Like after I said hi to my parents, like I'm hugging everybody, and then I'm like, I gotta go.
Yes. Yes. Oh man, JJ and I chopping it up, sharing broadcast stories. We got to take a break. Following our new format, we'll take a couple of minutes, and JJ will continue to hang out with me on this wacky Wednesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Hope you all enjoy it as we are enjoying bringing it to you. Let me find what I need. To find. This thing doesn't act. This thing is not acting right. It's acting right now. We'll be back in 120 seconds.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Hey everybody, Brian Snow here. Want to do some afternoon sports talk with me and be interactive? Also meet some great guests from every walk of life? Then tune in to The Brian Snow Show on CSTV and CSTVnow.com. Weekdays at 2 p.m. Come on aboard and enjoy the ride.
PK Tire Pro is your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Hanging out here on this wacky bronze sexual Wednesday. Don't worry, Victor. We will honor your requests here in just a moment. And I just love chatting it up and chopping it up with JJ, talking broadcast shop. And I'll tell you, one of the craziest weekends I ever had, or craziest weeks. When I was covering Chicago State back in 2008. We made a trip to cover a women's basketball game, came back, did a men's basketball game, and then I had 24 hours off, and then I had to drive from Gary, Indiana to Hoffman Estates for a men's basketball game.
Oh my gosh.
Free within 48 hours. We where was that? The women's game was in Missouri. The men's game was in Chicago. I had a high school game to do that Friday, but I sent someone else to do it so I can sleep on my couch. And then Saturday, I went to do the game in the game in Hoffman Estates, and the game I was supposed to do Friday. The person called me and said, "Why did you send me on a last-minute trip?" I said, "Do you want the truth?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Because I was tired and I just got back in town."
Figures.
And I had a game to do the next night. He starts laughing and he goes, "I get it." But
that's funny.
Well, I made 2 trips to Missouri. both for women's games. The second trip I made to Missouri, when I drove into Chicago from Gary, there was no snow on the ground. By the time we were leaving, we got 6 inches of snow. Plowed through it, got to Columbia, Missouri, and it was 61 degrees.
That's crazy. That is wild.
Came back to a foot of snow. I drove home, letting all the snow in my car fly away. I went up. I came in my apartment. I went upstairs. I went right to sleep.
You know, I have to tell you, like we're talking about broadcasting stories. I will never forget. I was producing a game at Rowan, okay, and I was with my boy Nick, okay. We're doing the pregame show and everything for the Delaware Bluecoats because they. Oh my gosh! So after we're done, you know, he's behind the board. Like I'm supposed to be like getting highlights and like that type of stuff.
Right.
And for every playoff game that the Bluecoats had, we were doing it like regardless. Like we would just do their home games like during the regular season, but for the playoffs, like it would be the home games like where we would go to Delaware, or we would call it off of a monitor on the ESPN Plus app. So the broadcasters are in the conference room. Okay.
Yes.
And we had a Rowan radio banquet that we would do every single year.
Right.
Okay. And I could never go to them ever. Okay. And so we didn't know the next game was going to be on Thursday, which was when the banquet was.
Oh no.
So we were like, Nick looks at me like after the game or after we do our pregame show and was like, Jason, we're going to the banquet. So like we're not going to do the game. So we have to be Raptors 905 fans tonight.
Yes.
Because we want to go to the banquet. And
Right.
I'll never forget. The Bluecoats were like down like by 24 points or something like that.
Right.
As soon as they tied it, like my man just like throws his water bottle like on the ground. The broadcasters are looking back at us like, is everything okay?
Oh no!
They ended up winning, but we did go to the banquet. We did end up going to the banquet, and that was great.
Good.
But oh my gosh, I will never forget. He said to me, like, as soon as we took the headsets off, we're like, Jason, like, we're low-key Raptors 905 fans tonight. And I'm like, yes. Oh my gosh.
I was following Indiana Northwest for basketball, but I was also the stand-in voice for Loyola University women's basketball.
Right.
And there came a weekend where I was going to go on. I went on the road with Indiana Northwest because we did a game in Toledo, Ohio, and then we did a game in Kentucky. And we're riding back on the bus, and I get an alert on my phone, game at Loyola tomorrow. Huh? When did I put this in?
Yeah.
I get a call from Loyola. You know you got to be here tomorrow for our game at 2:00, right? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. We wanted to make sure that you knew. The coach looked at me with worry in his eyes and he says, "What do you have to do?" I said, "I have a Loyola game to do tomorrow, and we got a 12-hour ride back, and I'm not going to get any sleep." He says, "Why not? You can sleep here on the bus." "No, I can't. I have to prepare for a game tomorrow that I completely forgot about."
Yeah.
And the coach looked at me and says, "Oh, no. And you don't have a printer available to you?" "No, I don't." So I improvised. You've been there. You've been there.
Not
So
a 12-hour trip, obviously, but like, there have been times like where I forgot that I was going to call a game, and then I almost
Yep.
Yeah, that's happened.
So
That's happened.
I improvised, and I called my friend Bill at Loyola, and I said, I need a tremendous favor. He says, name it. Can you send me the game notes? And he says, they're on the way. Somehow he knew what I needed, and he sent me all of them. All the notes I would need for Saturday. And then I get a call back from Bill, and he goes, okay, what do you need as far as your keys to the game? Wait, what? He said, what do you need as far as your keys to the game? And I rattled off like 4 things. He chose 3, went to the producer, and they had a graphic made.
Wow.
I get back to Gary. I went upstairs, and we got back that morning. I went upstairs in my apartment. I took a shower, redressed, flew back downstairs, and zipped to Loyola.
Wow.
Somehow I got there in time, and somehow I got everything done that I needed to get done. We're going to take a break because I have to handle something real quick. We're going to take 3 minutes, and when we come back, it's the part of the show that y'all been waiting for on Wednesday. And trust me when I tell you, Jason, you are going to get such a kick out of this.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And I think you know what's coming. Back in 3 minutes.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed.
Lord have mercy. What are you doing?
Nothing yet.
Nobody.
Shut up.
It's such a great audio cut.
Okay.
Now, who was shocked that you had this breaking interruption?
I have a feeling Jason's going to use that on his next broadcast.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Do that.
Yes, you are. I know you. I know you. I know you. Cole, do me a favor. Cover me for a few minutes, if you would, please.
No problem. All right. Back at it. Snowman in the morning. Cole Johnson. You just saw my partner leave for a sec. Joined with Jason Joseph of the Play-by-Play with JJ. And have you seen this? Have you seen this show on a Wednesday?
I have. And I think I know what may be coming. I think.
Well, you are a very perceptive man. Because what is about to come will arrive. And to answer the question of Victor Lock or Vicalaw, where he says, no mention of Yo King. Can't have that. Well, we're about to have it right now. This Braun Session Confession is brought to you by Braun Joy Juice. Braun Joy Juice, the ultimate joy juice of bronzexuals worldwide. Made with 100% organic seal milk.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
Now, JJ, indulge me for a second and forgive me for what you're about to hear, because I'm about to channel Snowman Braun Level. As Raver would say, he's in the Hater Hall of Fame trash. But if it ain't feedback zone, help me out here and see if I can get these talking points that we would normally hear Snowman say. All right, let me see. LeBron James, let me do this correctly. Quote, LeBron James is pure, unadulterated trash and has been for 20 years. Close quote. What's another one that he likes to say? Oh, yeah. Quote, LeBron James has hurt the NBA since 2003. Close quote. Let me see, what's another one that he likes to use? Quote, LeBron James blows. Close quote. I'm trying to think. There's another one that he likes to say. Oh, yeah. Quote. And this is, of course, his favorite one. LeBron James. Close quote. And that concludes Snowman Braun Lover's take on LeBron James and Braun Sexual Confessions. Now, this program started not Snowman in the Morning, but this segment, Braun Sexual Confessions. It started when I did my 15-minute, and I'm going to bring it back, 15-minute YouTube segment on the daily, and I would do it every Wednesday and just challenge speaking everything LeBron there because I wouldn't do it any other time. And there was one video that I did that I'm proud of. And it talked about the Bronzexual Handbook, the guide on how a Bronzexual can hate on every NBA legend known to man. And I actually received a compliment from a person who just saw the video. And he said man, you need to do a volume 2. I was like, I didn't think about this. So before I just straight up spitball this, I did have a conversation with a Bronzexual. And this conversation, I think I lost 10 years because of it. And it was only with just a 2-minute exchange.
Oh boy.
Because the statement was, quote, LeBron James is the best player today and will be until he retires. Close quote. Now, sir?
I was just going to say, can I correct that and say he's the face of the NBA until he retires?
See?
That's all I'm going to say.
See?
That's all I'm going to say.
I've been saying this to Bronzexuals. Exactly. I'm like, look, until another face comes along, he's the face of the league.
Yes.
But the best player until he retires, no. And I said there is a difference between the most accomplished player today and the best player. But no, the bronze sexual said, quote, at 36,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists, there isn't another player today that has done that. Close quote.
Oh, dear God. Did you push the button?
Yes, I've pushed the button already. And,
okay,
and
good.
To show how futile that I knew this was, what this was, I basically said to this bronze sexual, quote, my original statement still stands. Close quote.
And now a selection from the Wonder Bread Choir entitled, What You Mean?
Oh, Lord. Did he have to hit me with what you mean? Lord have mercy.
Jason, I'm so glad you're getting a kick out of this. I had a conversation with a bronze sexual, and of course, there's the brain. Of course, those are brain cells I'll never get back. I had a conversation with a bronze sexual the night that he played center, and this bronze sexual said to me, "Open it."
This quote.
No one has ever had a better game starting at center than LeBron has.
Close. Wait a minute. Whoa.
You heard every voice.
Oh my gosh.
Wasn't going to set that up. That take is straight up hot garbage. But I'm sorry, JJ, Snowman, whatever you all have to say.
We got JJ hooked on all the elements now, and I simply responded. I simply responded to this bronze sexual with three numbers: 42, 15, and 7. And this bronze sexual came back and said, what do those numbers mean to me? I said, look up May 23rd, 1980, and a fellow named Irvin Magic Johnson, who went into the Spectrum, started at center in place of their captain, and recorded those numbers, which led to a Lakers victory 123-107, and led to Magic Johnson to date being the only Finals MVP, you know the next 3 words, gentlemen, as a rookie.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask.
But I'm sure the bronze sexual, even after you said that, and thank you, Victor, retorted by saying, what you mean?
You realize you got to visualize that now, right?
Oh,
yeah, they retorted with what you mean, and of course I gave them the Samuel L. and I said, "Oh, you were finished." Well, allow me to retort.
Oh, you were finished. Oh, well, allow me to retort.
Do you read the Bible?
yes.
It's great. That's such an awesome movie.
It is.
I guarantee y'all, Jason's gonna have half these elements in a broadcast. Trust me.
Heck no, I can't.
He's gonna see me in the chat, and he's gonna work him in during a break. Watch.
Oh yes.
Watch this. I already know it.
That's true.
Do I mind? Hell no. Because I love this guy and what he's doing for broadcasting. But back to business. This bronze. I'll repeat a line that Cole said in the opening. This bronze sexual upset me that I had to bring an old. I'll switch it. I had to bring an old head into a basketball conversation. Because this old head, and I mean every bit of those words, said to me, "You can't deny LeBron's greatness." I said, "What greatness?"
Oh gosh. Wow. Wow.
And I know that Bron sister was like,
You for real?
Yep. And he looked at me, and he goes, "I'll say it again. Go ahead. You can't deny LeBron's greatness." And my retort, not only that, but I said, "What greatness?" Yeah, this old head walked away.
Wow.
I said, and I called back to him and I said, "You want greatness? Look up Michael Jordan." Well, that pissed him off.
an old head.
Yeah.
Wow.
See,
yeah, it pissed him off to the point where he came back to me, and I can't believe I'm going to repeat this aloud. I can't believe I'm going to repeat this aloud.
Go ahead.
He came back to me.
Oh, he came back.
Yeah, he came back for more.
Okay.
Oh boy.
He came back to me and he said, "Open it."
Oh, what the heck? Lord have mercy. Quote.
LeBron's greatness has had a bigger impact than Michael Jordan.
Close quote.
Now,
JJ.
No.
No. JJ, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, okay, I like LeBron. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
However, I am a very logical person.
Thank you, Lord.
Okay, I'm not irrational like some of these, like blindsided fans are. Like for LeBron James, I love LeBron. The thing is that Michael Jordan did change the game in so many ways.
Yeah, and it's
here's
still
why.
felt today.
Here's why. Okay. First of all, the real number 23
Thank you, Jay. I knew that was the reason I loved you.
You have forever.
He
you have
played
forever
defense.
yourself to him.
He played defense and he played offense at the same time. Okay, I give LeBron the longevity. Obviously, he's taking really great care of his body.
Of course.
He's put himself in a really good position to succeed. The thing is that when you look at the peak of Michael's career, okay, yes, he had good teammates around him, but every single night, okay, who was taking that final shot? It was him.
MJ.
Well, yeah,
Who was
MJ?
Who was the anchor on both sides of the floor? It was MJ.
MJ.
And so,
I'll push back a little bit on that. The first 3 chips, yes. The second 3 on defense, the anchor was Pippen.
Right.
Yeah, Pip was the anchor on.
Yeah.
Pip was the anchor on defense for the second 3-peat.
Yeah, second 3-peat. Yeah.
Give you that. But what was the call? But besides Pip, who left the calling card?
Oh yeah, it was Jordan. There's no question.
Besides Pip, who was the calling? Okay, Pip has the calling card for the last 3 chips on defense. Yes, indeed, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to compare, these bronze sexuals want to compare legacies for some god awful reason. And I had Jason, I'm going to make you laugh when I tell you this. I had a young man look me in the eyes, and Cole, you know this story, and said to me, "Open it."
Quote.
What has Michael Jordan done that? What hasn't LeBron done that Michael Jordan has done?
Close quote.
Before I give my answer, a selection from the Wonder Bread Choir entitled "Are You Serious?"
Jeez.
Now my answer. In 4 letters,
Oh, no. Whoa. Before you do
What?
before
Yes.
you do that,
Yes, sir.
and don't mention rings.
And don't mention rings. Yep, that was the other part of the art. Thank you. He said, don't mention rings, and you can't name something that Jordan has done that LeBron hasn't done. That was his challenge. I said, are you serious? And he says, yeah, because you can't do it. He said, you can't do it. And he's goading me and goading me and goading me for the next 5 minutes.
You can't.
My friends who were around me.
Such a great laugh. It's such a great laugh. I'm a fun guy.
Folks.
I love you, JJ. Oh, man.
Folks, JJ will have that element too after a Phillies hit that shouldn't have been a hit. And I've seen a few of those with JJ on the call. But be that as it may.
Yes, I'm sorry. The 4 letters you're going to say to basically disprove
4 letters
this bronzesexual that you couldn't come up with something.
This stupid ass bronzesexual. DPOY. And of course, this bronzesexual looked at me with fear in his eyes, and he says, "What you mean those letters?"
No. Do it right.
Okay.
What you mean?
I said those letters stand for an award LeBron will never get. Defensive Player of the Year.
He was only close to getting it once, I think.
Yeah, only once. Michael Jordan was in the DPOY voting 5 times. 2 of them came in the second three-peat. And oh, by the way, to this stupid ass bronzesexual, the year was 1988, and it wasn't even his best year.
No, his next year to me was his best statistical year.
His best statistical year was 1989, and this is before he started winning championships. Before he started winning championships. Before the dynasty. What's up, Rising Rhino? Ryan McCoffey in the house, and everybody that's in the chat with this. We got a few minutes left. So you can't deny the fact that MJ was a defensive stalwart, and he was that way at North Carolina. Why? Dean E. Smith.
Yeah.
Dean Smith demanded that you play defense. Let me go down the list. Jim Valvano demanded that you play defense. John Thompson demanded that you play defense. Patrick Ewing, hello.
Yep.
So me and this bronzesexual thought he was in for a fight against me, and I destroyed him with that argument. He walked away holding his head in his hands in shame.
I mean, defense does win championships, right?
Yeah, defense wins championships.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
So, along came another bronzesexual.
Lord have mercy.
Who didn't present that challenge to me, but presented a challenge he thought being the operative word, he would get me with. He brings this stat sheet to me a few years ago, and he says, look, LeBron averaged 30 points a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only led the scoring title one time.
So I looked at this bronzesexual, and I said, he scored 30 points a game this year. Yay. Thank you, Playmaker. And I reached in my pocket, pulled out my phone, and this bronzesexual was dancing and said, you can't top that. Oh, yeah?
Starting the third year, that is exactly what Michael Jordan averaged.
I said, well, LeBron may have averaged 30 points a game this season. Michael averaged 30.1 for his career.
Yes, he averaged 30 for his career. The highest average for anybody.
Yep.
Even Will. Even Will.
Even Will.
Will's
the only other that averaged 30 a game. But MJ had a higher average than Wilt.
Yeah.
See, I
Still had
love
an even
LeBron.
30.1.
I love LeBron, but like, I'm sorry, when sports were shut down, didn't The Last Dance teach everybody a lesson, man?
Yeah, you would think.
Like, Michael was just that guy. Like, it was actually really crazy for me. Like, when I was watching the documentary, like, so many people were like, this is like really like what the 90s like were all about. Like, you could see like everybody's like crowding around, like, you know,
Yeah.
at the whole stadium,
Oh, yeah.
like, and like those types of things, like, you know, the headphones. Like,
Beginning
it
in
was actually really cool to
1989.
just see the culture. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Beginning in 1989, they were rock stars because they went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
But they reached the conference finals for the first time since 1975, when they were in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
And their coach at the time was Dick Motta.
And
The Bulls coach
yeah.
at the time was Dick Motta.
And then the next year, although, all right, let's give props to the Blazers. They're a great team. They were a great team.
Yes.
But there was talk about that series between the Pistons and the Bulls. They're saying whoever wins the series wins the finals.
Right. Because the West was weak.
Because it was like other than Lakers, it was like, and the Lakers were getting old. So yeah,
and the Lakers were getting old. The dynasty was crumbling right before our eyes. And when they lost Magic Johnson in Game 2 to an injury, game set match.
In 89, that pretty much was when people knew, okay, the change of the guard is coming.
And it was a short change of the guard because the Pistons only ruled for 2 years. And then the Bulls figured it out in 1991. Off to the races they went.
And I had put the final nail on that Showtime Lakers coffin. Yeah.
And I had bronzexuals come after me saying I got all my information from the documentary. You dumb fool. I lived in Chicago. Yeah, I didn't tell you this part.
Oh, so you were a teenager in the 80s and a young adult when the dynasty happened. What the heck are you talking about?
They really thought, I kid you not, they really thought I got all my information about the Bulls from the documentary. I had a line of bronzexuals say that to me aloud. And I'm sitting there thinking, I lived in Chicago during that time. I saw the rise of the Bulls. I read all the headlines. I got all the inside stories because I know people in Chicago in media, even when I was a teenager, even when I was a pup in this business. I was there.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I was there. I was sports editor for my. I was sports editor for my high school newspaper for the 89-90 season. You think I didn't cover the Bulls then?
Oh, and back then you also had to like go to like the library in order to just like get information.
Absolutely. I actually had to. I actually do something bronzexuals don't do. It's called research.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
You two know. You guys know it well. The folks in the chat know it well. If you want to know something, you look it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know most of the Bull stats from memory because I lived it.
Yep.
I lived that dynasty, start to finish.
Yep.
I mean, I was working at gas stations and Six Flags Great America and a few other places, and I found out having a 9 to 5 wasn't for me, but that's just me. But I lived it. Hell, the day MJ won the championship in 1998, June 14th, I was at work when it happened. And everybody, I was at Six Flags Great America. Everybody roared when that shot went in.
Yep.
Everybody roared. I mean, the rides weren't doing anything. Everyone was gathered around TVs or listening to Neil Funk on the radio. Neil Funk and John Paxson on the radio.
Because by that time, to your point, JJ, by that time, the Bulls became an international phenomenon. And it was to the point, you talk about they were rock stars in the late 80s. It literally felt as though we were watching either the Beatles before they broke up, or Led Zeppelin before John Bonham died, or Michael Jackson if he did his This Is That tour. It felt like
That.
that.
Elvis, yeah.
Or Elvis. It felt
Or
like
Elvis.
that. Mhm.
Yep.
It felt like it was a cultural phenomenon that you wanted to say, I was there to witness it. And they transcended being a basketball team or even a sports team.
Yep.
They actually became a story where it was like, wow, this is something that we can pass this down from generation to generation. I got a chance to see this team win 6 chips in 8 years, and they touched every single part of society beyond sports.
They sure did. Listen,
Dallas Cowboys
my first ever visit to the old barn, to Chicago Stadium, June 5th, 1991. Game 2. Me, Chicago Stadium, almost 19 years old, at night. You think the West Side wasn't lit up? You think the West Side wasn't lit the blank up? Chance for the Bulls to get even the final series, before 3 in Los Angeles.
Right. Yeah, when the NBA Finals was 2-3-2 for me.
Yeah, it was 2-3-2.
I want them to go back to
2-3. It was 2-3-2. We got to let the folks at CSTV go because we're running out of time with them, and we're sorry for the late start. I put that on me. The F-bomb that you heard from me slipped out. It won't happen again. I apologize to y'all. But we're going to finish this episode, and we'll send the edited version to CSTV as soon as we can. So, Cole, if you would do the honors, because we're going to finish this episode. But like I said, we only got a few minutes left with CSTV. So to continue on, y'all, Bronzexuals, listen to me carefully. I don't have to get my information from a documentary. I lived it. I lived it from 1985 to 1998. I lived the rise of the Chicago Bulls. And remember, in 85, in the playoffs, they faced the best defensive team. And that team just happened to be the Milwaukee Bucks. Not many people want to talk about that, do they? Not many people want to mention that. Thank you to the folks at CSTV. We love you, and I'll see you later today at 2:00. But they don't want to talk about the fact, and this is one thing this show deals with, is facts, as we are in the process of taking down the others, and JJ's podcast will do the same because he brings it, and I love you for that.
Thank you.
We deal with facts, and the facts are these. MJ averaged 30 points a game for his career. His best statistical year was 1989, not 1988. And something LeBron hasn't done that Michael has. He's one of only 2 players in NBA history to lead the league in scoring and steals multiple times. But Michael Jordan is the only player in NBA history, not LeBron, not Kawhi, not Steph, not anybody. Michael Jordan is the only player in NBA history to lead the league in scoring and steals 3 times.
Can I just tell you something? Like going back to the other Bronzexual, you know that said that LeBron changed the game more than Jordan did. I'm going to tell you this: Steph Curry changed the game more than LeBron James did, just because of the revolutionized 3-point shot. Like
you know something I always say, JJ.
What's up?
It's pretty simple. Steph has had a bigger impact on the game in 15 years than LeBron has had in 20, because of the way Steph revolutionized the game.
You might be right about that.
And you know what Bronzexuals don't understand? You know what Bronzexuals don't understand? The way Steph revolutionized the game. And the best part about it with Golden State, and Denver figured it out also, within the flow of the offense.
That's correct. Yeah.
Bronzexuals is worse. It's not even they don't want to acknowledge how. They don't acknowledge that. Curry revolutionized the game, and they don't even see the fact that they Kang went along with that revolution.
And
Well,
the
I
big
was also
dog
gonna
said
say
it
really quickly.
Big dog just said it best. Go ahead, JJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say like really quickly that if you really think about it, because LeBron went to Miami, he created the Golden State dynasty. Because
Yeah, he
Kevin
did.
Durant did that too, and how could Kevin Durant like catch that much heat if LeBron didn't? You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron did
Right.
the same exact thing that KD did, and KD got all this slack. You know, he got all this all this heat, and like that created the Golden State dynasty. So like I gotta tip my cap to them in that sense.
We do too, because Brian and I grew up in an era where we saw teams that if you were on top, you tried to stack your team to basically say to the rest of the league,
stay
knock
there.
us off because we want to stay here.
It's a simple philosophy that Bron Sexuals don't understand, and today's NBA fan, thank you Cole for that, don't understand. We are the champ. If you want it, come get it.
And look, I get that this aspect, right? So Rhino, yes, go to State won in 2015, and then they beat Durant's Thunder 2016 team.
Yep,
a team that LeBron beat. Yeah,
yep.
And people got on
73 and 9.
Yeah, they got on Durant because they said, "Well, you joined a 73 win club."
Yeah,
I mean, how could you do that? That wasn't my issue with him. My issue with him was you called out LeBron for doing the same thing you did 6 years later because it took you that 6 years to learn. Oh, so this is why he did it.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why I have an issue with Durant.
And he left, and I'm so glad he left Russell Westbrook in the freaking lurch because Westbrook was not going to get him a championship. Period. End of story. He was not going to get Durant a championship. Durant realized that. The lesson you just said, Cole, very, very true. But at the same time, he figured out what he needed to do and he did it. Period.
But
the whole quote during that time was, "If you can't beat them, join them." And I like literally just kept thinking to myself, like LeBron did the same exact thing like with the Miami Heat, man. Like because they couldn't get over the Spurs. And because they couldn't get over the Celtics, you know, he had to do that for his legacy. KD had to do that for his legacy too. You know what I'm saying?
If you listen to the Celtics, no, not Celtics, but if you listen to Garnett, Allen, not necessarily Allen as much, but definitely Garnett and Pierce, definitely Garnett Pierce, they almost stopped short of saying, "We punked him so bad in Cleveland, he had to join in Miami to beat us." Yep. They stopped short in saying that, but they come very close to saying that.
Well, Kevin Garnett.
But also, can you imagine?
Go ahead, JJ.
Can you imagine if Derrick Rose and the injury never was a thing? Like Derrick Rose, man.
Don't break my heart, man.
Derrick Rose against LeBron, man. Like,
don't break my heart, man, because I wanted to see that so bad.
Forget that. Derrick Rose and the Bulls got screwed in 2011. Forget Derrick versus LeBron.
So
I wanted to see. I don't want
JJ. I wanted to see that so bad, man.
No, I wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. Because Derrick would have cooked his ass.
No, I still wanted to see that because I really believe that no matter what team that LeBron was on, they didn't have an answer for Derrick Rose.
No, they didn't have an answer for Derrick Rose.
Exactly, JJ. Nobody did.
Yeah. And here's the rivalry that should have happened but didn't because of injury. It wasn't supposed to be LeBron versus Steph. It was supposed to be Derrick Rose versus Steph.
It was going to be
supposed to be Derrick versus Steph. All right? And an injury messed all that up.
Yeah.
An injury messed all that up.
Non-contact.
We got to go. We got to go. But let me thank JJ for coming on. What time are you on tonight, JJ?
I'm on at 9:40 p.m. Eastern time.
All right. But, I may have a chance to get you in because I got the Nats and the Astros at 8:10. And I'll send you the link to that. so you can tune in before you go on.
Can I just say one thing before I go?
All yours.
Yes, sir.
You know, Brian, you asked me before, like what motivates me, like, to do this every day, and I'll tell you, it's honestly this. At one point, like when I was in school, a lot of people that are still like on here, like, don't really know this about me, and I've been really open to share this. But I had a 1.8 GPA, like at one point, like a 1.8 cumulative GPA, and so like I had like 2 like really awful semesters, but I realized that I needed to change my game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to coach like through like my own struggles. And so I knew that I had to commute. I knew that I had to do other things. Like I had to get in touch with people. I had to reach out to more people because I still like wanted to be in school and I still wanted to do broadcasting. And so like by the time I graduated last year, I graduated with a 3.3 and I went from that 1.8 to the 3.3. But the thing is,
look at God.
What people always like, my favorite saying in sport is stats don't lie, but they don't tell the full truth.
They sure don't.
And so like there's people that doubted me, but then the people that believed in me, I wanted to prove those people that they were right. And so every day, like when I come on here, you know, I try to carry that same sort of energy, that same sort of vibe, because I love doing this and I don't want to fail myself. So that's why, you know, I've been doing this every day. And that's why I've been calling games, and that's why I've been interacting with so many people on here, and I've made some awesome relationships because I want to continue to grow. And so, like, if there's anything that can be learned, like from just the experience, is that it's just to never stop growing and to always believe in yourself. So that's what I wanted to leave you guys with.
Well, you've earned another fan in me, bro. Because I love you. I love your energy. You have a great voice. You have a great presence. I love your energy, and you have you definitely have a ton of knowledge about sports. So you hooked me.
I hope everybody in
bro.
the chat has subscribed to Play by Play with JJ.
Yeah.
His first pitch is at what time tonight?
9:40.
9:40 Eastern.
9:40. All right. Get some rest.
Get some coffee.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. You get some rest, bro. I will check you out later tonight. We love you. Thanks for hopping on today, man.
I love you guys too. Take it easy.
Love you, bro.
That's Jason Joseph from Play by Play with JJ. Go subscribe to his channel, please. Y'all will love the content. Subscribe to Cole Sports as well. You'll love that content. I know you love the content here on Snowman Multimedia. We are out of here for today. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty.
A minute. I didn't do it right. Now, with all the brown-sexual stuff being said, get out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronsexual Confessions.
They're not big enough.
Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. We are out of here. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Yeah.